जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरदारी जय गिरिवरदारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरदारी जय गिरिवरदारी जय यशोद नंदन जय व्रजजन रंजन जय यशोद नंदन जय व्रजजन रंजन जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरदारी जय गिरिवरदारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरदारी जय गिरिवरदारी जय यशोद नंदन जय व्रजजन रंजन जय यशोद नंदन जय व्रजजन रंजन जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय कुंज बिहारी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जय राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे जय राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे जय राधा वल्लभ श्री राधे जय राधा वल्लभ हरे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय 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 प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा 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 जय गुरुदेवा। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप गदा माह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासति गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतं स्वाकता कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनं हृदयन्तस्तो हि अभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सता। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु Bhuteshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 18, Dhiti vows to kill King Indra. Text number 24. Kadha no bhratr hantaram indriya aramam ulbhannam aklina hrudayam papam ghatahitva shaye sukham. Kadhanubhratur hantaram Kadhanubhratur hantaram Indriya aramam ulbanam Indriya aramam ulbanam Aklin hridayam papam Aklin hridayam papam Ghatahitva shahe sukham Ghatahitva shaye sukham. Kadanubhartur hantaram Indriya ramam ulbanam Aklin hridayam papam Ghatahitva shaye sukham. Kadanubhartur hantaram Indriya ramam ulbanam Aklin hridayam papam Ghatahitva shaye sukham. Kadhanubhratur hantaram Indriya ramam ulbanam Aklin hridayam papam Ghatahitva shaye sukham. Kadhanubhratur hantaram Indriya ramam ulbanam Aklin hridayam papam Ghatahitva shaye sukham. Hare Krishna. Kadhanubhartur hantaram Indriya ramam ulbanam Aklina hridayam papam Ghatahitva shaye sukham. Kadhanubhartur hantaram Indriya ramam ulbanam Aklina hridayam papam sukham. Kada, when, no, indeed, Bhartur Hantaram, the killer of the brothers, Indriya Aramam, very fond of sense gratification, Ulbanam, cruel, Aklina Hridayam, hard-hearted, Papam, sinful, ghatayitva, having cause to be killed, shaye, shall I rest, sukham, happily. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Indra, who is very much fond of sense gratification, has killed the two brothers Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu by means of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Indra is cruel, hard-hearted and sinful. When will I, having killed him, rest with a peace of mind? So this is, who is speaking? Diti. Diti is speaking, yes. So there is no purport, so I'll read the next verse, 25. Krimivid bhasma samgyasit yasyesha abitasya cha bhutadrik tat krute swartam kim veda nirayo yataha. Translation. When dead, the bodies of all the rulers, known as kings and great leaders, will be transformed into worms, stool, or ashes. If one enviously kills others for the protection of such a body, does he actually know the true interest of life? Certainly he does not. For if one is envious of other entities, he surely goes to hell. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The material body, even if possessed by a great king, is ultimately transformed into stool, worms, or ashes. When one is too attached to the bodily conception of life, he is certainly not very intelligent. I'll read the purport, only 3-line purport. I'll read the purport again. The material body, even if possessed by a great king, is ultimately transformed into stool, worms, or ashes. When one is too attached to the bodily conception of life, he is certainly not very intelligent. So, in this section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question to Sukadeva Goswami, and here Parikshit Maharaj wanted to know more about. So, like now we have a situation where Diti is aggrieved. What is Diti's problem? Two sons. Who are the two sons? Hiranyakasipu and Hiranyaksha. Yeah. So Indra is because Indra is obviously Devata. So to protect the Devatas, so the Lord killed Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu. So Diti is little bit unhappy. And it's interesting. Kashyapa Muni is the father. Kashyapa Muni had who is Kashyapa Muni's wives? Diti, Aditi. Diti and Aditi. From Diti, all the demoniac mentality, all these people are coming. From Aditi, all the Adityas are coming. So, person is same. Father is the same, Kashyapa Muni. And from Kashyapa Muni, through Diti, all the Daityas, Diti, and all the demons are coming. Aditi, all the Adityas are coming. So it's interesting. Now, Diti is feeling the pinch, okay, because of Lord Vishnu's intervention. So my sons have been killed. So therefore, she is taking a vow. So I have to make something so that I can kill Indra. So this is her proposition. So that's why in the sloka 24 it says, Lord Indra, who is very much fond of sense gratification, has killed the two brothers, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu, by means of Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Indra is cruel, hard-hearted and sinful. When will I, having killed him, rest with a peace of pacified mind? Not peace of mind, pacified mind. So, sometimes in the material world, we find a lot of politics. One person killing the other person, one person is doing some scheme so that the other person is dethroned or something. So wherever you go in the material world, not only here, sometimes we think the politics is here only. The politics is everywhere in the material world. Brahma bhuvana loka. Wherever you go, the politics is there, but only the how do they conduct, that is little bit different. Sometimes it can be gross, sometimes it can be subtle. That is the only difference. Even somebody goes up to the Brahma loka or even Indra loka. So we see so many incidences in the case of Lord Indra. There is a lot of power struggle. When somebody doing yajna, somebody doing Ashwamedha yajna, Indra gets very, very worried actually. Why he is worried? Why Indra is worried? Indra, yes, that's it. He is thinking like this is what. I thought maybe you are thinking something else, but now you are in the same, we are in the same page. Correct, that's very good. So, 100 Ashwamedha yajnas, if somebody performs, then he has to steal the horse, he has to do this, he has to do that. Everything he is doing. Why? To just protect himself. And what is this protection? This is the body. That's what the whole talk is all about here. The body is a temporary situation. Body is a very, very temporary situation. Anityam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the body is, the material world itself is a temporary situation. Dukkhalayam asaswatam. Asaswatam means there is no permanent position. The material world is bhutva praliyate. Is every time the material world is created and annihilated, created and annihilated. And our position is very, very, very fragile. Very, very fragile. Yes, Kamala Talamala, what is it? That sloka, that song. Kamala Talamala, Jivana Talamala. So this is Krishnadas. There is a song. Bhaja Hure Mana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. So this, our position is like a tottering like a water on the lotus leaf. Very, 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 this like today's situation, tomorrow completely changed actually. And we make so much arrangement, so much this thing, so that now we can stay here permanently. This is not going to be possible. So, so what we can see is like, so Diti, she is envious, and because the sons have been killed. Actually, that's natural. If a mother, the sons are killed, the mother will be a little bit unhappy. But she wanted to take revenge, and we are going to see. Kashyapa Muni is going to suggest to perform a vrata, so that Kashyapa Muni knows, even though he is not he is a learned scholar, he knows what is happening, but somehow he could not control. So same thing happened in the case of the birth of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. We are in the 6th chapter. In the 7th chapter we are going to read about that. Diti insisted, want to have the union at that point in time, which is not the right time. So, and because of that time, this is not the right time, then only demons will take birth in that family. Because this is a big science. It's not just like we love each other and we have children. No, it is not just like that. That is okay. But what kind of procreation, what kind of children you are going to have, everything depends on the consciousness of the parents. At the time of conception, what is the consciousness? If the consciousness is only on the animalistic consciousness, the children born out of that union will be only animalistic one. If that is why the whole thing is like we have to purify our consciousness. So the Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharadarshava. Because the sex life, which is not contradictory to the religious principle, that is represented by Krishna. So that is very important actually. So nobody says that you should not have a family. If you don't have the family, how all the great acharyas have come actually. Great acharyas, they all come. Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, all the acharyas have come. So it's not a question of, but what consciousness we have, whether we have a consciousness of a human beings or whether we have consciousness of the animalistic mentality, then what kind of living entities are propagated, that is decided. So we have an example of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So now, here, Srila Prabhupada explains in this, Indra is, the translation, Prabhupada says, Indra is cruel, hard-hearted and sinful. When will I, having killed him, rest with a pacified mind? And then the next sloka, Srila Prabhupada says, when dead, the bodies of all the rulers, known as kings and great leaders, will be transformed into worms, stools, or ashes. This is what happened. You can have, the history has seen so many people. Hitlers have come and gone, Mussolinis have gone, and all the Napoleons have come and gone, Gandhis have come and gone. Everybody has come and gone, but what happened to them? What happened to them? Where are they now? If you go to France, now you look, where is Napoleon? They have a statue of Napoleon, but where is Napoleon? Where is Napoleon? We don't know. Depending on whatever activities he performed, he may be, if he has performed some pious activities, he might have been in a higher planetary system. If he has performed some sinful activities, then he will be rotting in the lower planetary systems. So, what is happening in this sloka? It says, whatever may be the body, you may be calling as a king or a minister, a prime minister, a president, whatever it may be, all these great leaders will be transformed into worms, stools, or ashes. Because one is, in some of the systems, they burn the body. When you burn the body, you get ashes. Correct? When you bury the body, what do you get? Worms. Because this is like worms. This another time, sometimes they have a system, they throw the body, and then some vultures or some eagles, they eat the body, and then they pass to. So that way, the body becomes like that. So sometimes we think this body is very, very beautiful, we just take care of the body, but all others are thinking, they are also thinking, oh, the body is very beautiful, when the body is going to finish, then I am going to eat it actually. The vultures they are thinking like that actually. So, and Srila Prabhupada says in one of the passage I just reading, Srila Prabhupada says, I have seen that in Calcutta, in Chaurangi Square, there is a statue of Sri Asutosha Mukherjee. Throughout the year, the crows pass stool on his face, and the stool becomes caked on. So on one day a year, an ordinary sweeper cleans the statue with the brush in the morning, and in the evening, some big men come and garland him with flowers. Then after that evening, they go away, and again the next morning, the crows come to pass stool on his face. So this kind of worship is accepted, sweeping the face of Sri Asutosha Mukherjee with the municipal brush. But if we install the deity of Krishna and worship him nicely, people will say that this is idol worship. Prabhupada is very, very practical. Sometimes, like we think we want to give respect to this gentleman, so we install a statue. So, but the problem is we install the statue, what it becomes is a place for the crows to pass stool actually. That's what happened. Nobody bothers. Whenever some birthday comes or whenever some day comes, at that time only they go and then they clean and then they put a garland. What is the use actually? What is the use of this putting this garland on one day only, and then after that nobody bothers about that person? So this is the glory of this material world is like that only. Because I may be a big person, but it doesn't matter. Because it's just like a time passes like anything, and then everything finishes also. So within that short time, what we achieve, that is more important for us actually. There is a nice story of there is an interaction between Lomasa Rishi and Indra. You know the story? Lomasa Rishi and Indra? I come. You don't know. That means it's not in the scripture then. You don't know means how, you know most of the things anyway. So Lomasa, you know the story? Lomasa Rishi and Indra? Okay, that's all right. That's not a problem because it's a very nice story, interesting story. There's once a Rishi called Lomasa Rishi. He is a very hairy person. Hairy person means lot of hairs in his body. So Indradev, actually we have to understand when we say Indra, there are many Indras actually. So we should not think that, this Indra is, sometimes we tend to think, Indra is always a very bad person. Indra is obviously king of the demigods. So he is in a He has done a lot of tapasya, a lot of austerities, a lot of things. That is why Lord Krishna has given him the position. So we have to have the respect for them. But same time, we have to understand certain things. Even though you may be in that position, you have to be careful not to fall prey to the pride. Because when pride comes, then he fights with Krishna so many times, correct? So many times in Govardhan Leela, he was fighting with Krishna, and another place, Parijata, fighting with Krishna. So many places we find this type of incidences. So this is all it's not to blame Indra, it is for us to understand. Sometimes we don't have any power. We don't have the power of Indra, Chandra, Vayu, nothing we have. We get very proud, and we think we are the controller, we are the maintainer, everything. So we have to be careful. So coming back to this Lomasa Rishi pastime, once Indra, he wanted to do renovation. We all want to do renovation. Indra also wanted to do some renovation of his palace. So he called a builder. Who is the builder in the higher planetary system? Vishwakarma, yes. I think you already heard the story. Yeah. Vishwakarma, he called Vishwakarma, now you make one palace. This palace is completely should be outlandish. It should not nobody should have seen this palace like that anywhere else in the whole 14 planetary systems. So Vishwakarma is working very hard, overtime, day and night, working very hard. And Indra is also not very completely satisfied also, still working. So Vishwakarma got a little bit tired actually. Not only Vishwakarma and the whole entourage, so many people are working. And then Vishwakarma made a request, I think Lord Vishnu, so then at that time what happened was, I think Narada Muni. So at that time what happened was Lomasa Rishi comes in. And so he is making different arrangements. Indra is making to make the palace very comfortable. So the Lomasa Rishi comes in. Lomasa Rishi has only 2 possessions actually. Lomasa Rishi has 2 possessions. His possession is one mat, one water pot, something like water pot and one mat or something. That's it, his possession. So when that, I think Narada Muni asked, or they are asking Lomasa Rishi, my dear Rishi, he was asking, I may be telling the story a little bit differently. Lomasa Rishi is there. In the context, so Lomasa Rishi, we have to understand, Lomasa Rishi lives for such a long period, the Lord Brahma dies, Lord Brahma Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. After Brahma dies, one hair in the body of Lomasa Rishi falls. So that means so many billions of years, and one hair in the body of Lomasa Rishi falls. And then all the hairs in the body of Lomasa Rishi falls, then only Lomasa Rishi will die. So Indra is asking, he was asking, why you are carrying only this one kamandalu and just one this thing only? Yeah, he said, my life is very temporary. Lomasa Rishi says, my life is very temporary because I just live only this time. I can't afford to make all these elaborate arrangements for living. I just want to live just simple living, high thinking. That's what Srila Prabhupada very aptly put, simple living, high thinking. So when Indra was listening to this, Lomasa Rishi, he is saying, my life is very short, I don't want to make any arrangement. And then immediately he said, Vishwakarma, you finish your business. I will, because this is the beauty. Because the saintly person, the Lomasa Rishi, he has so much understanding, even though he has to live so many billions of years, and he doesn't get attached to this material world. He thinks that my life is very, very short. What do I have to do? Why should I waste my time in making this big arrangement? Anyway, we have to be practical. We are Kali Yuga citizens. We are not like a Lomasa Rishi or anything. We need have a house, we need some arrangement, some shelter, something has to be there. But we don't want to go overboard, do overboard things like that. Keep on making arrangement, and finally, what is your destination? That is forgotten. Sometimes people go from Chennai to Delhi, go with the train. It takes about 30 hours. Nowadays, maybe 20-25 hours. So 25 hours, so you get attached to the coach, and start making arrangement. I will make this nice decoration. What is this? 24 hours you will be checked out of this coach actually. You get out of this place. You can't say, I like this place, I'll stay here. No, you are not allowed actually. Next, the train has to go the other side. People will do the cleaning and then you have to get out of this place. Same thing for us also. The place may be wonderful, everything may be very, very beautiful, but you are not allowed to stay here. You are not allowed to stay here. That's a dukkalayam asaswatam. When Krishna says it's dukkalayam, somebody may say, oh, it can be dukkalayam, I will keep on adjusting. I will adjust. No, you can adjust, but it is a temporary place. You have to go out of the place. So with this mindset, if somebody comes, then there is some progress. That is why Bhagavad Gita, from the beginning of Bhagavad Gita only says the bodily conception of life is condemned. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatrana muhyati. Dhira is a sober person. He is not bewildered by the bodily changes. Body will change. Body will keep on changing. And dehantara praptir, after the end of this body, you will get a different body. And how you will get a different body? Or depends on what? Yeah, past, present life also. Present life. Past is there, and present life, whatever activities you have performed in the present life, accordingly you get the future body. So it is very, very scientific actually. It's not that just like I do anything, I can just get away with that. No, nothing. It won't work like that. It doesn't work. You have to do some preparation. That's why Prabhupada says, lifetime in preparation. We have examination and we have to prepare in the life. Lifetime in preparation. Then we can do that. So this is and people sometimes they make fun of us. Oh, you are worshipping a statue. It's not statue. It's not statue. It's Krishna standing there or sitting there accepting the service. Pure devotee is requesting the Lord, Lord, please come here and accept. Because our position, we are used to, accustomed to material things only. We can't see spirit. We don't have the capacity. So Lord has very kindly appeared as Archa Vigraha, Archa Murti, and then accepting the service on the request of a pure devotee. So that is deity worship. That is authorized worship. And what they are doing is like idol worship. Idol worship. What is idol worship? Is just like installing a statue, Napoleon or Hitler or Mussolini, whoever it is. So nothing. There is nothing. Just only. That is why Prabhupada says the stool. Okay, crows pass stool on that, and that is no use. Nobody gives any respect or anything. So the material body, even if possessed by a great king, is ultimately transformed into stool, worms or ashes. So this is the reality, harsh reality. People may not accept, oh, I am president, I am prime minister. This is not, you may be president or prime minister, but because of some sukruti in your previous life, you have become a president or prime minister. But now the sukruti quota is finished, now then again you have to go back to Punar Musika Bhava. Punar Musika Bhava story, you know that story? Punar Musika Bhava. No? You know that? Prabhupada says that. Punar Musika, mouse. Punar Musika Bhava. Yeah. Because there was once a mouse. Mouse was always harassed by cat. Yeah, mouse has to be harassed by cat only. Yeah. Harassed by cat. So the mouse went to a saintly person. My dear sir, my dear saintly person, this cat is harassing me. Okay, so what do you want? So he said, I want to become a cat. So then, tatastu. So he became a cat. So after some time, my mouse came to the saintly person and then again made a sound. What do you want? So the dog is harassing me, like one by one, like a dog. So then he became a dog, and then finally he became a tiger. Finally, he made him a tiger. So after becoming a tiger, this tiger was just staring at that saintly person. And the saintly person, what do you want now? I am very hungry, I want to eat you now. Then he said, little bit water in that hand, and then Punar Musika Bhava. Punar Musika Bhava means you become a mouse again. That is the problem. That is our situation. Because we may be big thing, we may be big president, prime minister, but if we don't conduct ourselves, we don't behave ourselves in a particular way, we don't follow all these rules and regulations, then we may be degraded. So this is This is a lesson. Srila Prabhupada says here in Śrīmad Bhāgavad Gita, one place, is very interesting, condemning the bodily concept of life. Lord Krishna is giving hints of those places so that one who wants to conquer the enemy may know where he can be found. Mind is center of all the activities of the senses, and then when hear about sense objects, the mind generally becomes a reservoir of all ideas of sense gratification. And the result, the mind and the senses become repositories of lust. Next, the intelligence department becomes the capital of such lustful propensities. Intelligence is the immediate next door neighbor of the spirit soul. Lusty intelligence influences the spirit soul to acquire the false ego and identify itself with matter, and thus the mind and senses. The spirit soul becomes addicted to enjoying the material senses and mistakes this as true happiness. So Śrīmad Bhāgavatam says, Yasya atma buddhi kunapetru dhatuke swadik kalatradishu bhauma ijyati yattirtha buddhi salilaila garhichit janasva abhigheshu sayeva gokara. A human being who identifies this body made of three elements with his self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsmen, who considers the land of birth worshipable, and who goes to the place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than meet men of transcendental knowledge there, is to be considered like an ass or a cow. So this is a very heavy statement. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam says, because this body is made up of three elements, kapha, pitta, vayu. This is three elements of the body. So this is, if they think this is all, and then he thinks this is all the byproducts, everything is mine, mine, mine. This type of thinking is, if somebody has that, he is no better than a cow or an ass. They don't have any thinking, only animalistic thinking. So we have to raise above that. We have to raise above that. That is why, from the beginning, it's not like Bhagavad Gita, last sloka say you are not this body, you are spirit soul. The beginning only. That is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is touching upon the subject matter very, very beginning only. Yes, actually that is the beginning of spiritual life. If somebody following spiritual life, we have to have at least theoretical understanding. We may not have practically, we may not have understood that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. We may not have. But at least theoretically, or minimum, at least theoretically, we should understand we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and we have to keep reminding. So one person asked, why you are repeating the same message again and again? If you go to a Bhagavad Gita class, same message will be there. You are not this body. I have heard this 100 times. You heard it 100 times, but have you understood this? If you heard it 100 times, you have not understood, then what is the use of hearing them? So that is why we have to understand. Yes, we are not this body, we are spirit soul. So we have to position ourselves in that platform. Then only real progress will happen. Otherwise, there is no progress. So here, we talked about the Lomasa Rishi, and then this is like Diti is talking about, here. The aim, actually, when one is too attached to the bodily conception of life, is certainly not very intelligent, because the human life is given to us for a purpose. The human life is given to us for a purpose. What is the purpose, Hare Krishna? Yes, go back home, back to Godhead. That is why Prahlad Maharaj says, people don't know. Nate vitu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Swartha gati is real self-interest. Everybody has some interest. Everybody has some interest in life. Otherwise, why people perform things? They have some interest, some motivation, some kind of vested interest people have. But what is Swartha Gati is real welfare. Nate vidu Swartha Gatim hi Vishnu. Swartha Gati is like our real self-interest is Lord Vishnu. How to worship Vishnu, how we can finish our material struggle and go back home, back to Godhead. That is our real business. All other businesses, what we think we are doing, is not our real business. Those businesses are to help you to do the real business. I may be working in a company, I may be doing this, I may be doing that, I may be doing all other activities. All other activities will give you some money, will give you this. All these things are good. How it will be good? It is helping you in your real business of going back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, if you think that is my real business and then give up your Krishna business or the devotional business, then life will be miserable actually. We have seen people sometimes come to devotional service. Oh yes, good, I am making some money here, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, then why do you need Krishna then? Leave Krishna and then go. And then within short time we know, Maya will show her own ways of thing, and then you will be tossed the whole thing, and then that's it. So that is why we have to be careful. So that is why Srila Prabhupada says, persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense object cannot understand that goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind men guided by another blind man miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached men led by another materially attached man are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life. So this is what the problem is. So we want to, that is why Shastra is giving lot of prescription. Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Dhruva Maharaj is saying, Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, all these instructions are there so that having come to this material world, how we have to conduct ourselves. There is a procedure. Because when you take a apparatus, when you buy a machine, there is a manual comes in. Same way the scriptures are coming in with us so that how we can behave ourselves. All these things are given in the Shastra so that we can get out of this entanglement. If that is not there, the bottom of our heart, that has to be there. Yes, I am here on a temporary situation. I am in a temporary situation. However, I may be a citizen, I may be a permanent resident, whatever it may be. We are not, this is not our real place. Our real place is Goloka, Krishna Dham, Vaikuntha Dham. That is our real place. But here, we came here because we developed this unceremonious desire, want to enjoy separately from Krishna. This is our problem. Our problem is we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, and Krishna has to give this place. Okay, you go and exercise your free will. And we are trying also. We are trying our level best to exercise our free will, and then we get frustrated. And if we get frustrated, that's good. Normally people say when you are getting frustrated, it's not good. But if you get frustrated in the material world, it is very good. Why? Because that is the impetus for us to think, oh, there is something more. Okay, if everything is hale and healthy here, then we will never think about God. Even now, nobody is thinking. COVID was there, little bit people were talking about God and this. No, COVID is also now like become a flu. No, just everybody is like busy with their own activities. But the material world is designed in such a way, it will give some distress. So distress is there, so automatically there is some impetus to think about a higher purpose, what is the life, and why am I here, where did I come from, why these things are happening to me, all these questions will happen. Now, so here, one may become Indra, so that is why we have to be very careful when we pray to the Lord what we are praying. You can pray to the Lord, I want to become Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Varna. It's easy. You can do that. There are some rules and regulations you follow, you can become Indra. 100, this is, Abhay said, you perform 100 Aswamedha Yajna, you become Indra. But the problem is you become Indra, but then we see in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, so many Indras are creating some disturbance actually. Here also we find one Indra, we are going to find here. Indra enters into the womb of the mother and then tries to harm these children also. We find like that. And there are so many instances. Indra stealing the horse from whom? Indra stealing horse from whom? Prithu Maharaj. You see, that's it, very sharp. We have to be like that only. I wish we have the same type of sharpness. Indra stealing horse from the Prithu Maharaj. Indra fighting with Krishna. For what? Parijata flower, Govardhan Leela. So many places. So many. Even in Krishna Leela, only something happened. Again he is fighting. He forgot actually. One place he said, Krishna, you are the supreme, I understood. And after a few hours he is fighting with Krishna. So that is why he is very, very careful. Power. That is why power, when somebody gets power, then it becomes very, very, power corrupts actually. You just become a little bit mad with the power. That is why, what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prayer? What is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prayer? Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamai, mama janmani janmani, bhavatad bhakti ahaituki tvai. That's it. Yes. He don't want. Everybody in the material world, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy is completely different. I don't want na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, na kavitam va jagadisha kamai. Why? Because if those things come, we will forget the main thing. Power comes, dhanam comes, followers come, then we will forget. I have become this, I have become that, I have become a master. Then Punarmusika Bhava story only. Because that we don't want that. That is why Acharyas are praying, that is why Shastra is giving. No, we don't want all these things. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, our position is this, the Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayo Dhasa Dhasanu Dhasanu Das. Then that is the real position. Our real position is also that only. So we have to aim for that. But we have to understand, as long as the body is there, we have to look after the body. So nobody says that, okay, if somebody comes to punch you, keep on punching me. Prabhu said in the class, you are not this body, you are spirit soul, you keep on punching me as long as you want. No, correct? Last time also we discussed. No, we are not. Yes, you have to self-preservation, self-protection is there. You have to protect yourself. At least you don't have to attack him. At least you have to run away or something. You have to do that. But we not so much so that the whole life he is just like meditating on this, how to maintain the body. Body has to be maintained for the soul and together. We have to maintain the body. We have to eat. We have to sleep. We have to do all the different bodily necessities. That has to be done. There is no argument on that. But we should not overboard, like a big renovation like Indra was doing for many years like that. That is not possible. And for us, maybe may not be possible like a Loma Rishi also. It is not possible like that also, because it is very difficult. We are living in the material world, especially in Melbourne. You need a jumper, you need this, you need that, all of that. You need these possessions may be needed, but we don't get attached to them. We should not get attached to that possession. Then life will be difficult. So this is a nice example. Like we sang that song, Govinda Das, Bhaja Hure Mana. He says how the lotus leaf is always in the water. Lotus leaf is always. Have you seen lotus leaf? Yeah, where? Garden, yeah. Because if you put little bit of water into the lotus leaf, what will happen? It will stay there for ages, correct? Ages, That means you have not seen the lotus then. If you lotus leaf, if you put some water, immediately it will just drop away. It won't stay there. It will just, you try that. Here sometimes lotus leaf, I don't know where to get lotus leaf, but if you get lotus leaf, you put some water and then immediately the lotus water will come. So this is the way, the pond lotus only. See, pond, Lady Mataji are saying, not lotus. Water lily. Okay, some connection. This is some connection with lotus family. Lotus family is there. That's all right. So if you put little bit water also, immediately it will just. Same way, we have to live in the material world. That cannot be avoided. Having come to the material world, okay, let me just jump out of the window and finish my life. No, that is not our proposition. Our proposition, you live here and conduct ourselves. And like water doesn't stick on the lotus leaf, same way we have to live in the material world without getting attached. Without getting attached, we have to live. Nobody is, this is what we have to learn. This is what the whole training, whole sadhana bhakti is for that only. We perform activities in this life so that we don't get entangled. That's why Bhagavad Gita says, Yajyartad karmanon anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Work done as a sacrifice, Lord Vishnu, has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Work means you create bondage. But if you work for Vishnu or offer the results to Vishnu, then that work will not create bondage. So we have to, choice is for us actually. How we perform work, we perform work completely for the satisfaction of Vishnu, no problem. Completely. Yajnartat. Yajna means Vishnu. If you perform work for Lord Vishnu, then there is no reaction for that. That is why devotional activity, pure devotional activity, there is absolutely no reaction. That is why it is recommended. We are not interested in the punya, pious activities, and we are not interested in the papa, sinful activity. Why? Because whether you do punya or papa, same problem. What is the problem? Punya or papa, same problem. What is the problem? Yes. Papa also same thing. So, punya and papa both are bad from that sense. Because you do punya activity or you do pious activity to enjoy the results, you have to come back to the material world. If you do papa and then you have to go suffer and again come back to this material activity. So that means the coming back to the material world is there in both places. So, intelligent person should perform neither punya neither papa. He has to perform only pure devotional activities which will not have any material reaction. That is what we want. That is what we have. That is what our aim in life. Our aim in life is perform activities which are pleasing to the Lord. And then if we perform activities this way, then we end of this life we can go back home, back to garden. There is no doubt in that. No? Prabhupada says, guarantees that. You perform 4 regulative principles and chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds a day, then you're bound to go back. You're bound to go back because it's not Krishna. Shastra does not tell lies and Acharya does not tell lies. So we have to have a faith, firm conviction. So that is why here it's mentioned here, the material body, even if possessed by a great king, is ultimately transformed into stool, worms or ashes. When one is too attached to the bodily conceptions of life, he is certainly not very intelligent. So we have to be intelligent. Kovida means intelligent. So we have to use the intelligence in this way that from beginning we have to understand we are not this body, we are spirit, soul, at least theoretically. Theoretically we have to have the understanding. Then slowly develop that thing and then we engage in devotional service. So then we can become closer to Krishna. So stop here. If there is any comments or questions. Hare Krishna. Yes. Thank you.
My question is how can we become enough intelligent so that we can protect ourselves from the bewilderment of Maya, because we know Maya is way more intelligent than us.
Maya is very powerful, but Krishna is more powerful than Maya. Maya is very powerful. That's what Krishna says. Actually, Krishna only says that. Not you are saying. Krishna is saying, Mama Maya Dhuratyaya. So Krishna agrees that Mama Maya Dhuratyaya, this material nature is very, 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 very difficult. Mamevaye prapadhyante Maya metam tarantite. This is only one way we can overcome Maya is surrender unto Krishna. How surrender into Krishna? How it works? It's not like I surrender into Krishna. One day morning I woke up, immediately I surrendered to Krishna already. No, it doesn't work like that. Anukulyasya sankalpam. Do things favorable to Krishna. Anukulyasya sankalpam, pratikulyasya varjanam. Pratikulyasya varjanam means whatever things are unfavorable to Krishna, we just leave it. Rakshisyati iti viswaso. Have a firm conviction that Krishna is the protector. Rakshisyati iti viswaso. Goptrupte varanam tata. Krishna is the protector. Krishna is my master, maintainer. Atma nikshepa karpan. This is 6 items of surrender. This is one sloka is coming. So we have to, our whole life is like that only. Devotional life is like yes, we have understood, but slowly and steadily we progress. The progress happens like this only. Whatever is favorable to devotional service, we accept it. Whatever is unfavorable, we reject it. And then we have a firm conviction, Krishna is the protector. Even though there are many things, doctors are there, this is there, that is there, but Krishna's protection is important. Krishna protection is there, automatically other things will be looked after. So then, that is the way we have to conduct ourselves. And we are not alone. We have help. My parents are there. Guru is there. Acharyas are there to guide us also. We always take help, take association. And Granthas are there. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Already you are sharp, but you have to keep on sharpening only. That's it. Like a knife you see in the kitchen, the knife is there. It will cut. Maybe 1 year. After 1 year, the knife will not cut. Not cut the butter also sometimes. But then Father will take that sharpening thing and then will sharpen. Same way our intelligence also like that. Intelligence, if it is not used in Krishna's service, how we can use intelligence in Krishna's service? No, use intelligence in thinking of Krishna. Yes, something more? Talking about Krishna, preaching the message of Krishna, talking to people and explain the glories of Krishna. Like if we can do that, then we can sharpen. Because when you do that, then you will sharpen your intelligence. That is why the Prabhupada says lusty intelligence and good intelligence. But when we read Bhagavad Gita, we understand that we are not this body, we are spirit soul. And then natural question comes, if I am a spirit soul, what are my activities? What should I do? What should I not do? Then all other whole thing will develop. So that is why we have to keep on sharpening. By regular study, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. Every time we read this sloka, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Sloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Because if you regularly read this Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, then Bhakti will be established in the heart as an irrevocable fact. That means Bhakti will become like a stand, very, very fixed in your heart. Everybody wants that. But for that, we have to do this. If you can all do that. I know you are going to school, doing that, but at least practicing, you are doing, studying, at least a few slokas a day, few passages of Bhagavad Gita, if we can constantly do that, then we will become very fixed up and nothing will shake. Yes, Maya is powerful. Maya will too show test actually. As long as we are in the material world, Maya will give us test. Because when somebody goes from 8th standard to 9th standard, doesn't go automatically. There will be a test you have to write and then you go. Same way Maya will do test. But if we have surrendered to Krishna, then Maya will salute. Oh, okay, now you are... And Krishna says that. If a devotee surrendered to Krishna, the Mayas, all the tricks will not work on him actually. But if we are little bit hazy, oh, this way, let me enjoy little bit here, little bit here, little bit there, let me check out there, check out here, then, oh, okay, then maybe another few lifetimes or few hundred lifetimes we have to hang around here. But we are fixed. But that fix will come as we engage in devotional service. As more and more we engage in devotional service, Krishna will purify our heart. That is why we have to hear about Krishna, we have to talk about Krishna. According to your capacity, whatever you have, you can do that. Then it will work out. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anything else? For you, everything will be clear, no problem. You are already on a different platform, so that's good. Any question you have? Or comments?
So the first was
Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipu.
First. So before they started their Ravana and Kumbhakarna birth, what did Hiranyaksha do? Was he just kind of...
So after that, the intermediate thing. Yeah, I think Shastra says they finished that and then the next thing happened. It's not like whether they suffered any, because Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Sisupala, Dantavakara, they are all special categories. So they are not like a normal, like 3 births means 3 births for them, that's it. They don't have to, our thing is, it can be many, many lifetimes. But for them, it's a simple 3 births only. Hiranyaksha was killed by? Yes, so same thing. He finished and then they took birth in the other family as a Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And then after Ravana Kumbhakarna finishes, then they became Sisupala and Dantavakra. Yeah. And then finally then last time we discussed, and then after that they renewed the contract, came here as Jagai and Madai. For Chaitanya, because they also see it's all like it's a dynamic thing. It's not like a fixed, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Leela. Brahma also came in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. Who was Brahma? Haridas Thakur. Same way, the different personalities come in different Leela. So they also want to enjoy the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So then the Brahmaji came. And Jaya Vijay also, okay, we'll also join. So like that they join. No, there's no contradiction in that. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much. Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Ma. Hare Krishna, Ma.